Welcome to today's podcast. We're here with Mr. Uzihben. Our topic for today is on relationship with God and religion. Welcome, Mr. Uzihben.
Thank you.
My name is Naomi, and please, can you introduce yourself to us so we can know you?
Uzihben. The Uzihben Podcast. The Uzihben Podcast.
Okay, thank you and welcome. Thank you, Mr. Uzihben. Thank you for your time. Well, I have some questions and pertaining our relationship with God and religion. You know, we've seen so many of your videos where you talk about relationship with God, spirituality, religion. So we just want you to educate us more on the relationship when it comes to God,
Okay.
and want you to educate us more on Christianity, on Islam, on Buddhism, because we come to understand that you're a free thinker. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong. I'm not a free thinker.
Okay, you're not a free thinker.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe that's the most misconception many of us have. Okay.
Close to describing my stand in religion. So,
Okay.
go on with the question.
Okay, close to okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir. Well, my first question is, how would you define religion? And in your own view, what is religion?
Okay. Religion is more of like a kind of most people will say it's a way of life, but in my own view I would say a system where people are programmed to think a certain way,
Okay.
act a certain way, and believe in a certain way. And the majority of the time a religion set to make people have faith in a kind of reward of an afterlife or a punishment of an afterlife. And why we can generally say religion is a system whereby what do you call it, people are meant to believe in a higher power that rewards them when they do good, and then punish them when they do bad. And underneath are going to be like laws, rules and regulation, norms that guide the way they eat, the way they live, the way they communicate, their belief system and their faith.
Okay, so thank you for that. So to your own view, you've just explained to us what religion is, and what you think religion is. Thank you very much. Now my next question is, do all religion lead to God? Because you just talked about punishment, the way people live. So now if we're talking about the punishment and the way people live, in your own view, when it comes to religion, does this now lead to God? Does this religion lead to God?
You have to be specific. What religion are you talking about?
Now, in all of this religion, be it a Christian, be it Muslim, be it Buddhism, does all of this religion lead to God? Does all of this relationship lead to God?
Good. Now your question, if I have to put it in the way I will understand, is that how does this religion lead to God?
Lead to God, yes.
Good. Now the question here is that we don't even know if they are leading to God. Wow. As you can see, I'm also a founder of a new age religion, the watered religion.
Okay.
And each of the dispensation that have passed, every messenger that have risen, every religious leader that have risen, have this conviction or a kind of experience of God. And so that experience is what they put into teaching, is what they put into dogma, is what they put into laws and rules and regulations that govern themselves and their followers. And so whether a religion leads to God or not is dependent on the messenger of that religion or the leader of that religion, of the prophet of that religion. You understand that? And why, let me use, for example, Islam, for example. The messenger and the prophet of Islam is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this great prophet led a life of a pious life according to the Islamic history. And not just the Islamic history, their world history that look at the lifestyle of this great prophet of Islam, and looking at the experiences, history surrounding the foundation of the religion, and also have its own ties with older religion like Judaism and Christianity. You find out that it is circling around the same monotheism, the one God of the Jew and the supposed one God of Christianity. Okay. And so there is a conviction. That conviction comes from his visit to the mountain, having getting revelation from God through the angel angel Gabriel, and then some miracles that followed afterwards. You can see the miracle of splitting the moon, the miracle of healing the Jew that was constantly abusing him, the other teachings and pious life, the life he led. You get it now? Now when we go to Christianity, for example, it's obvious we know that Jesus Christ is not the prophet of Christianity.
Why would you say that?
No, he didn't found Christianity. Christianity started 30 years after he had gone.
But we all have an understanding that Christ started Christianity. No. Jesus started Christianity.
No, he didn't start.
Suits follows after he has gone. No. His followers picked up. So why would you say Christ is not the founder of Christianity?
Jesus Christ did not found Christianity because Jesus Christ was a Jew who was trying to remind the Jews the original laws and the way of life as prescribed by God to the children of Israel.
So what is the way of life?
Good. He was making them understand that their patriarchs were not living a life of hypocrisy. They were living a life of sacrifice. They were living a life of love. They were living a life of going to the synagogue and actually worshiping God, and not going there to show themselves that they are rich. And that was why you find out that he went to the synagogue to scatter money, to scatter the whole synagogue. And that was why he was constantly saying, "Oh, you hypocrites, oh, you scribes and Pharisees, your heart is away from God, while your body is around here."
Okay, so if I can understand you very well, you just said something about, just explained the reason to me why you feel Christ is not the founder of Christianity.
I'm not done.
Okay.
I don't feel that Christ is not the founder of Christianity. It is evidented in the Bible.
Okay.
It's sure that Jesus Christ did not found Christianity. Rather, Jesus Christ was a Jew who believed in the teachings of the Jew, who wanted to reform the Israelites, the Jewish people, to follow the ways of God with absolute wisdom and love. And that's why he told them, "I have not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law." And to tell you that among all, the greatest of all the law right now is love your neighbor as yourself. And so Christ's mission on earth was not just to, like what he said, "I have not come for the whole world. I've come for the lost sheep of what? Israel." The case of when the woman came to meet him and said, "Please have mercy upon me. My daughter is ill." He said, I didn't come for everyone. I cannot take the food meant for the kings and the prince and the children and then give to dogs. And the woman said, "Even the dogs, can they eat from the crumbs that fall from the table?" Yeah. And then you find out that the mission of Christ on earth is that people can still benefit from the grace of God upon the children of the Israelites via faith.
Okay.
And so Christ did not start a new religion. Rather, Christ was a messenger, according to the Bible, to open Judaism, which is not Judaism as per the religion itself, but to open the love and the grace of God to all mankind, starting from the children of Israel. And so if we were to go by the teachings and the way of life, Christians are supposed to be Jews by extension of faith. And so you find out that Christ did more miracles to Gentiles than the Jews. Why? Because the Jews did not do what? They didn't believe him. the Bible said that they were saying, is this not Jesus Christ, the son of the carpenter, the carpenter? Is it not the brothers, the sisters, the Mary, all of them? We know them. Say, where did he have such authority?
Yeah.
Because now he was not only telling them about the love of God extended to the household of Israel, but now in extension to the supposed sinners, to the Jews. And so he found out that he didn't found Christianity. Rather, he was leading a life that he wanted the Jew to follow and the Gentiles also. And so when he left, you found out that the Bible said, it was in Antioch. Yes. The people were seeing the way these people that follow the teachings of Christ, the way they were living their life. They were not the 100% Jews. They were accepting the Gentiles. They were giving to the poor. They were being kind to the widows. And they said, these people, they don't act like Jews, despite the fact that they are Jews. They are leading a life of the prophet, the man, Jesus Christ. And so that's what the Bible said. It was there they were first called the followers of Christ.
Okay.
Which the white man
not changed
to what? Christian.
Okay, so to you, the white man,
not to me,
were the one that incorporated
the word Christian is not an Arabic word, it's not an Aramaic word, it's not an Hebrew word. Okay. It's an English word. It's an English word translated from Latin. Christos.
Okay.
Translated from Latin. So the people of those that were following Christ, that were called the followers of Christ because of the things they were doing, were not actually called Christians. They were only said they behave like that man called Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You get it now? And the word Christ is not a Hebrew word, neither is it an Aramaic word. The word Christ will refer to Messiah. So if they were called originally, those that followed were called, they must have been called the followers of the man they called Messiah. They act like the man Jesus. So if Christianity were to have a real name, it should have been called Jesusians.
That's a funny name.
Yes, it's not a funny name. It's the name of the prophet, Jesusians. But they decided to call them Christians from the English translation of the word Christos, which is what? A savior, the English. So if Christians were actually to choose a name for their religion, it's not the name the white man gave it. It was supposed to be what? Messiahs or Jesusians. So you find out that you can see at the end of the day, Jesus did not found Christianity. Despite the fact that it was written in the Bible, Peter, upon this statement, I will build my church. And this is where most Christians find it wrong. The word church was translated from the original word, the called out. Meaning, these were the Jews that God has called out to lead a life that the forefather, the patriarch, had lived. And so you can see Christ was more of like the one that was trying to segregate the Jewish people. Now, you may call yourself a Jew, but you are not the main Jew. And he said, what do they call me? He said, they call you the Son of God. He said, flesh and blood have not revealed it, but God. He said, on this statement, Peter, I will build my church, and the gate of hell will not prevail against it. I don't know if I was able to.
Thank you very much. You were able to throw more light on that question, and it leads me to my next question, which is I want to ask you, what's the reason of our existence?
The purpose of our existence, why are we alive today? That's what the question is, right? Now, science have been able to come up with some Charles Darwin's theory, the evolution, the Big Bang theory, and then Christianity, and let me not use the word Christianity, religion, because when we talk about Christianity, even Islam, they have similar belief system.
Yeah.
Good. And that's why, and in the WATAD, we have a course called comparative religion, focusing on Islam and Christianity, the similarity between should I call it similarity? It's actually one religion. Just actually one religion.
So you're trying to tell me now that in the water, you believe in both being a Christian and both being a Muslim?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the water we have a course that talks about comparative religion.
Okay. Having
Christianity and Islam as a case study, having Buddhism and Hinduism as a case study, having Zoroastrianism and Judaism as a case study. So comparative religion is studying two religions and comparing them, their similarity. So when you talk about the essence of our life today, what are we talking about? Why are you alive?
Yeah.
And I do tell a lot of people, some people will come out, what is my purpose in life? As a spiritual leader, people chat me up, sir, what does the Spirit say that I'm going to be tomorrow? What is my purpose? How do I fulfill my destiny? You find out at the end of the day, I tell a lot of them, there is no purpose for anyone. There is no man on earth that is born on this earth and it's defined that, for example, Miss Maru, born on the 14th of April 1988, you are born to be a medical doctor to save life. No.
Okay.
Good.
Why would you say that?
I don't have a reason to say that. I'm speaking from true revelations, deep spiritual wisdom.
If I may come in, while growing up, religion has made us to understand that every man born on earth is with a purpose.
Yes.
But right now you're trying to tell me that there's no such thing.
Now, I call that religious fake news. So I'm going to debunk it.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
There is no one on earth that is born with a purpose. But circumstances can happen that can alter your destination of life. Yeah. But now, if I say there is no purpose, it means, why am I a spiritual leader? Why am I leading the watered religion?
Good.
Now, this is it. Every single person on earth was created and made to make an impact in this world.
Okay. Can you please throw more light on that?
The impact I mean here is every soul, yourself, myself, the director herself, everyone, Reda, Dominic, Zara, Danny, all of them put together, they were created by God. They are on this earth for one specific purpose.
You just said there's no purpose.
I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
To make manifest the glory of God. And what is the glory of God? To make life easy for your fellow neighbor. And so you are created to be a billionaire. I, a billionaire. You, a prophet. Myself, a prophet. Everyone was created with all the abilities to be a president, to be a governor, to be anything you want. You get what I'm saying now?
Okay.
So each and every one of us, we don't have a specific thing we should be in life. Rather, we are given unlimited possibilities to be whatever thing we want to be. Okay. Now look at what religion does. Religion decided to narrow us to one specific, which limits your ability to do extraordinary. Instead of religion to teach us the truth, which is being preached every day, we all hear it. Akalaka. Your destiny is in whose hand?
God's.
Your destiny is in your own hands.
Uh-huh.
Your destiny is in your own hands. Your life, your purpose, the day you will die, the only thing that God, the knowledge that was taken from you as a human being, is the knowledge of the day you will die and the knowledge of the day you will be born. But the day you will die is an infinite possibility. You might die today, tomorrow, next. But at the end of the day, it leads us back to the question, our essence on life, which is why I said your essence and your destiny is in your own hands. So the destiny does not say you're going to live up to 100 years. So because destiny is in your own hands, You decided to take alcohol, 70% alcohol. You finish your whole bottle, and you now sit in front of the car, and you are driving 200 kilometers because your brain is working faster than your mind and your hand and everything. What happened? You have an accident and you died. And you say, oh, it's the will of God. It's not the will of God. You took your destiny in your own hands. You decided to live a life without a purpose, and you died on time. And so I tell a lot of people that there are a lot of people that are in the grave today that are not supposed to be dead. But because they decided to live a life without a purpose, they are dead. And so you want to be a medical doctor. It's in your hands.
Yeah.
Now, our purpose now is more than 90% being shaped by religion, based on greed, selfishness. Like the Bible said, the kingdom of God, right from the time of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violence, and only the violent took it by force. And so the society is shaping us. And so you see our director today never wanted to be a director of a show. And then after doing this, the work is beautiful. He pick up her phone and go to the internet and find out that the friend that they finished secondary school together is doing well in acting. He said, I think I have a knack for acting. And so we find that our society is constantly shaping our children. When your child was born, he had the possibility. He was Spider-Man. He was a soldier. He was a medical doctor. He was a pastor, a spiritual leader. He was almost everything. Today you wake up and your son, you say, Mommy, I'm a pastor. The other time, Mommy, I'm a medical doctor. Mommy, I'm a soldier. He had the ability to be whatever thing he wants to be. But as he begins to grow up, his society begins to shape his mind. He's not deciding, if I be a doctor, will I make it? My friend just bought a car. Medical doctor cannot give me money. I can't be a lecturer. And so your essence on earth is defined by you. And this is as a result of how you relate with people. At the same time, is how spiritual you become.
Okay.
I did biochemistry in school. I studied different business courses and every other thing that I've come across. I did religion, I did human psychology, organizational behavior. But all of these I have more than 50% in all of it. And you know the word, you say a jack of all trade. Master of what? None. But you guys know that that's not the whole quote, right?
Okay.
The full quote is jack of all trade, master of none, right? He said, but far better than master of one.
Oh.
That's the full quote.
Okay.
You are jack of all trade, master of none, but better than master of one.
One. Okay.
Because you find out at the end of the day, when you come to where people are shooting, you have a little knowledge of camera. You'll be able to do something. You go to this, you'll be able to do something. So you are better than a master of one who will come to a place that they need and he's useless.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying now? And so you find out at the end of the day, I am a jack of all trade. I decided to focus on one, which is to educate men the essence of their living, which is what? Pure spirituality. And so if I may ask you what is if I may answer you correctly, your full purpose on earth is on how you can harness your spiritual life and grow spiritually. Because by growing spiritually, you are able to filter the noise in your environment,
okay,
and decide which you want to master.
You just talked about the essence of our existence, and you were trying to throw more light on being spiritual. Now, it's this being spiritual is leading me to my next question. I want to ask you, Mr. Uzihben.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question. What is our purpose of being spiritual, and what is the gain we have? What gain have we in being spiritual and identifying ourselves to the will of God? Now, there's some persons that will say there's a will for every man.
Okay.
Now, I want to know that will for every man by God. What is our gain?
Okay. I don't get the question.
Okay. Now, if I may ask you now, what is the purpose of being spiritual? You just say something about spirituality.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to ask you.
So your question is more of like the benefit of being spiritual.
Yes. Okay, what's the benefit of being spiritual?
Okay. Spirituality over the years have cut across different concepts based on different religion, ethnic belief system,
okay,
and society. You understand? Right now, what is on the mainstream is African being too spiritual. But we tend to forget the time when the European were very, very spiritual. But their spirituality was focused on a different perspective entirely. And so the benefit of being spiritual is it's the calmness that comes with it. And I said, when I see a spiritual person, I see someone who is who has love for humanity, because spirituality exposes you to pure humanity, pure love. You find that at the end of the day, one of the beauty of being spiritual is your love for humanity, because humanity is more of a speck in the spectrum of general spirituality. Is that little grain in that big fruit of humanity. And so that big fruit of what? Of the spiritual world. Okay. So humanity itself is a little seed in the big fruit of the whole universe. Wow. And so for you to be able to assess the whole universe, you must first assess humanity. And by assessing humanity, it's what we call spiritual journey. The calmness, going to the sea, going to the forest, having a quiet time with yourself, treating the orphans well, treating the widows well, being nice, and being in support of programs and movement that promotes green earth, that save the mother earth. These are all work of spirituality. So one of the greatest benefits I do tell people is the ability to have a clear mind, a clear conscience about how each and every one of us should be treated, especially how what was given to us, the mother earth where we live, how it should be treated. So spirituality comes from different spectrum, different perspective, depending on the individual. You see someone who goes to Mecca and sees that as a journey of spirituality. And someone here in Nigeria is pouring libation to the gods of the land as a journey of spirituality. And the benefit itself may cut across different purposes based on individuals. But I would want to say that the climax of it is how well is humanity being treated.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uzihben. Yeah. This topic is getting interesting. Now, please kindly tell us man's relationship with God and himself, which is more important. Because the reason I'm asking you this is so many persons, when it comes to their relationship with God and their neighbor, they feel the relationship with God is very more important than the relationship they have with their neighbor. Okay. That is why you could see somebody, be it a Christian or a Muslim. Okay, now the reason I'm asking this question is something happened. I sent a daughter of mine to get something for me, and when she got to the shop, she was told, I think this period is the period where Muslims are doing their fasting. Now, the lady told her that she's going out for prayers, that this is the fasting period, and she's going out for prayers. And what she was supposed to do for my daughter was so very important. And it's something that can help me at that time as a human being. And she preferred going for a prayer at that particular time than offering that help. That's the reason why I'm asking you what the relationship with man has with God and with himself, which is more important.
Answer your question. This is the same thing the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he himself preached against, even the Prophet Jesus Christ and other prophets, and even myself. One of the key foundation of Islam, faith, zakah, fasting, giving to the poor, and loving God, believing in all the prophets, including Jesus Christ. Now, in the life of the prophet, there are several hadiths. Hadiths are referred to the teachings of the prophet.
Okay.
And most Muslims don't know this. They don't know this. They clearly don't understand the true meaning of Islam. So just like Jesus Christ was going about destroying the temple because they were after religious activity rather than spiritual edification and awakening, he said, your heart is far from God. He said, with your body you come before me. He said, but your heart is far. And Prophet Muhammad also warned against religious people. And that was why the Quran said, he said, God is all-knowing. Now, that lady, I can vividly say, the blessing that was meant for her that day, she lost it.
Why would you say that?
Because an act of kindness is an act of worship. That single kindness would have covered the whole of the fasting of that day, but she lost it.
Wow.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam preached mainly on kindness, and one of the greatest tools he used in evangelizing, in bringing people to Islam, when you read different hadiths and the true history of Islam, I tell a lot of people, when you want to talk about Islam, please, I'm sorry, my Muslim brothers in Nigeria, don't look at them. I'm sorry. Don't look at them.
Wow.
Don't look at them.
Why would you say that?
I've met several Muslims in Nigeria. I was once a Muslim.
Okay.
And a lot of them are saying, your faith is not strong. Let it be. My faith is not strong, and that was why I couldn't continue in Islam. And is it my fault? It is not my fault. It is my fellow Muslim brothers and sisters who were unable to become an example of the Prophet to me. And this happened cut across all religions. You cannot call me to say I should be a Muslim and you are not leading the life of Islam, because unknowing to you, I have read about the life of the Prophet. And right now I live a better life as a Muslim than you who has a black spot on the head. I don't know if I told you one time, and a lot of my friends, the moment I start praying the 5-day prayer, all I need is 3 days to go to the mosque. My forehead will be darker than someone that have been praying for 10 years. If you guys want us to do it, you can comment below and say, Uzihben, we want you to pray for the next 1 week. You will see my next video, my forehead is black.
So now what's the significance?
I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. When I became a Muslim, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam appeared to me and gave me a staff.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And when I woke up from the dream, I called my Muslim brother. I said I had a dream and I saw the Prophet give me a staff. But I knew he was a prophet. I did not see the head. But I saw a man walking on the desert and gave me a staff. He said, follow me. And some of you say, but why are you doing water thing? And you are going to the water to go and worship. I don't worship juju. It's the same Allah I called on by the sea. Just as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam called upon God in the desert, and Jesus Christ called upon God in the wilderness, and Prophet Abraham called upon God in the desert, and Oshofor called upon God by the waters, and Babalola called upon God on the mountain, and TB Joshua called upon God here on the mountain. Say I'm calling upon God, the ancient spirit, in the waters.
Okay.
Prophet Muhammad called God Allah according to the Arabic. Jesus Christ referred to God as Allah according to the Hebrew. Oshofa referred to God as what? Ọlọ́run.
According to his own tribe.
Same thing, myself. I'm referring to God as the ancient spirit. She's like, I don't want to call him Ogene. Because number one, I don't want to bring ethnicity into the watered religion.
Oh.
Now, let me tell you something. You see that act of the woman was barbaric, alien to Islam. Let me tell you. There was a story of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a case of a Jewish woman who would take dirt and put in the front of the Prophet's house. The woman was a Jew. She will wake up in the morning just to mock the Prophet for saying, worship only one God. God is the right way. She would take dirt. You know dirt?
Yes.
Dirty.
Yes.
And put in front of the Prophet's house. You could imagine that the Prophet will not be alone. There will be a lot of people around him. Both the wife and followers of Islam will be around him. And the Prophet will say, leave her alone. She will take the dirt in the middle of the night, put in front of the Prophet's house. The Prophet will wake up in the morning, take the dirt, throw it away. The woman did it the second time, the third time, she kept doing it. And one day, the Prophet woke up, and in front of the Prophet's house, there was no dirt. There was no dirt at all. And the Prophet looked at it, and Alhamdulillah, glory be to Allah, there's no dirt for me to pack today. The day passed. The following day, he woke up, and there was no dirt there. Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah. Today, there is no dirt for me to pack. The third day, there was no dirt. And he looked at, he could say that the woman's house was not looking the way it used to be. Did she travel? Is she not in town? She decided to go and check up on the woman, only to find out that the woman was severely sick unto death. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the great prophet of Islam, knelt down. Allah, you are the great God. Show to her that you sent me and heal her of this infirmity. Subhanallah, the woman received her healing instantly. And when the woman got her healing, do you know what the woman did?
No.
He renounced Judaism and became a Muslim. She did the Shahada and she converted to Islam.
Oh.
Did the Prophet use sword and put on his neck to cut his neck because he was not a Muslim? No. Did the Prophet went and raided his house? No. Rather, it was an act of kindness that the Prophet used in converting the woman to Christianity, to Islam.
Okay.
And this is the same thing the Prophet preached. The Prophet said, you guys hear of the word jihad. Jihad doesn't necessarily mean go and kill people. That's what it is. The hadith said the greater jihad is a jihad against your own self. Those things that you crave for, can you destroy it for the love of a God?
Okay.
And so for that woman not to do that kindness to you, she has lost a whole lot.
Okay.
God bless
you. You said so much about Islam. From the example I gave to you said so much. Now, if you as a former Muslim know about
and also a former Christian,
sorry sir,
and also a Satanist,
wow, that's very interesting. And okay, let me just channel on being a Muslim, a former Muslim, and you know about all this. Are you trying to tell me that Muslims don't know about these stories? They don't know about this act of kindness by the prophet they believe in?
Okay, now there was a day I came on TikTok and I met a young man, and I told the young man, I was trying to explain something, and the young man said, there is something about most Muslims. They know how to mock you. The moment you have no full knowledge. Something about majority of the Muslims I've met is The moment you say you are a Muslim, they expect you to have 100% knowledge of everything about Islam. But they don't understand by being a Muslim is mainly on your character and how you treat God and your neighbor, not the knowledge inside of you, but rather the knowledge of God, the knowledge of the prophets of Islam, which is Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Jesus Christ, Abraham, Jacob, David, and all of them. And so when I came online years ago, he said, how many, he used the word, how many zakah are in Ruku? He is the most stupid Muslim I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And I purposely failed it. I said that should be 2. And all of them were laughing. He said, he's not a Muslim, he's not a Muslim. I said, you see, you expect a Nigerian who has never been to an Arabic college to learn Arabic as a language for me to be a Muslim is appalling.
That's the criteria.
Is racism. I call that religious racism. I have the Holy Quran and I read the English translation of Ali. Finish. That's all I need. When you read the story of the prophet while he was alive, he had so many translators around him who were translated to other languages whenever he was teaching. Learning Arabic is not a religious recommendation for you. The reason why learning Arabic was recommended to most Muslims in the time of the past was that so that people don't change the words of the Quran, like what happened to the Bible.
Okay.
And so it was paramount that the Quran remain the original Arabic word. But then we now had transliteration and we have translation. You know what's called transliteration? Transliteration is in Isoko language you use the word Odeme Victor.
Yeah.
Transliteration is writing Odime. While translation is my name is Victor. And so the Quran has the transliteration of the Arabic word. And so you see something, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Idinas Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Idina Sirata Mustaqim Sirata Ladina Amta Alayhim. Ghairi Magdubi.
It's like enchanting to me.
No, yes, because you don't understand the language. Yes. And when you see an Arabic man speaking, he still speaks the same word. It's like me saying, I don't understand Igbo. I don't understand Igbo. So an Igbo man will understand. There was one day I walked to a man, I said, Ogini Kamilowa, Chineke na agba yo oku.
Funny.
And the man said, what have I done?
That God will send fire on him.
Whereas to me, I thought Chineke na agba yo oku is God bless you. Then he said, that's not God. I said God to use fire to burn me. I thought I was saying God bless. He said, no, he said Chineke na goziegi. And so what I read is actually the Arabic of the Fatiha, the first chapter of the Holy Quran. You find out that now, because they made the Arabic to be something, a Nigerian boy from Kanu we recite the Quran from Fatiha to high class. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, down to the last. And then you tell you, what is Bismillah? He will say, I don't know, it's Bismillah. He does not know. He does not know. He does not know the meaning of the word Bismillah.
So are you trying? So if
they memorize and recite without the meaning. Now, and so he will the person will read to Imram, Isa, and does not know Isa is Jesus Christ. Imram, he does not know that Imram is Miriam is Mary, the mother of Jesus. Has recited the Quran from beginning to the end, but does not know that Muhammad was sallallahu alaihi wasallam was mentioned 3 times in the Bible. And Jesus Christ was mentioned 25 times in the Bible. He has read the Arabic version of the Quran, but does not realize that the Quran also said, if you do not understand what I am saying, go and ask the people of the book, which is Christians.
Whoa.
Yes, the Quran said, if Muslims don't understand the misery of what is being revealed, let them go and ask the people of the book, which is what?
Christians.
Is a lie. The people of the book is not Christian. The people of the book is the Jews. Because Judaism were the first people, after they came from Israel, they embed the act of recording history and writing.
Whoa.
So they were exposed to a book. So you come across the word papyrus. The history of the Bible say papyrus. So you can have the story of Abraham. They were being written and documented. So they were called the people of the book. That was why the Jews were constantly castigated. How can you sit and be writing your history?
Whoa. And
that is the major reason why the Israelites have the only oldest history, and the Egyptians and the Ethiopians, but because they were men that were keeping history. So when the Quran said the people of the book, Christians say, they said Muslims, you don't know Islam, go and ask the Christians. Who told you? Book were already existing before Christianity started. Christianity was just 2,000 years ago. Christianity is younger than Zoroastrianism. It's younger than Buddhism. It's younger than Hinduism. It's younger than Judaism. In fact, the youngest one we can say among the old religion, Islam is the youngest, about 1,600 years ago. Because Prophet Muhammad started his calling 600 years after Jesus Christ had gone. How many? 100 years is a millennium, right?
Yeah.
Just 6 million.
Wow.
So when the Quran said, ask the people of the book, was referring to those, the people of the book were those who believe in the history. And so because this was a man that was teaching a history he never read, was revealed to him by the... How can somebody from Mecca be telling me, Uzihben, know this, that Bible fell in Araya? Hey! And you see people of Mecca say, oh God, how did you know Bible fell in Araya? He said, if you do not believe me, they are going to ask the people of Isoko.
Yeah.
And they actually came to you and they found out that he said yes, and that was why they were marveled. How did you know of this? And that's why I tell people, one of the criteria to know someone is actually called of God, the person is giving the hidden knowledge of the spirit. And so when I came online and said, Oloku came to visit me and told me, I am not fighting you, what people say? We said he's worshiping juju.
No, we're going to that.
And that was why they said Prophet Muhammad, he was a madman.
We're going to
and Jesus Christ was called what? A madman. And Abraham was called what? A madman. Elijah was a madman. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they are the most maddest people you can ever see, because they shows the fire than buying to the image. Alhamdulillah. May God bless you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Very, very interesting.
Thank you.
It's raining fire here, guys. It's raining fire here, seriously. And I'm enjoying the whole thing.
Thank you.
Enjoying this whole thing. It's an eye opener, and for you to learn about religion, for you to learn about the purpose of your existence, you have to, like the reminder, I've seen some of his video, he will always say you don't have to be biased when it comes to learning about religion. You have to be open-minded. Be you a Christian, be you a Muslim, you have to be open-minded, because when you are biased, you tend to like, no, it's not supposed to be so, no, it's not supposed to go this way. I know many people that are seeing this video will say, but she's a Christian, why is she nodding her head and agreeing to everything he's saying, and why is she sitting close to a man all dressed with cowries, with beads, and she portraying one? I have to portray one because I have to be like,
you are my wife.
He just said I'm his wife. I'm not his wife, I'm his girlfriend.
Either way, you're my girlfriend.
All right, thank you guys.
You have no choice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm enjoying myself. I know the director is enjoying herself also. She just gave me a hand now that she's enjoying herself. Thank you, Mr. Uzihben. Thank you very, very, very much. Now, I have you've talked about the Muslim. I gave you an instance of a Muslim. I know we in Christianity we still have people like that. I've seen people like that who are so religion, we call them religion fanatics.
You remember the story of the Bible, the Good Samaritan?
Yeah.
They had to leave the dead man I'm going to the church.
Yes.
Why the Samaritan?
Yes, and in this dispensation,
very common.
In this dispensation, I've seen a lot of people that will rather go to church and sit down comfortably than helping their neighbor.
They would rather use,
and they will tell you,
they would rather use
God
billions.
First. Okay.
They would rather use billions to build universities that more than 80% of the church members cannot go, rather than to use the billion to build housing projects. I can say it, and I'm saying with every sincerity of my heart, no religious leader that own a church today that will tell me that the money he has today, they are building estates now that nobody can say. Matthew Ashimowolo. You look at the estate. And we have to become a fake prophet and start giving people fake prophecy. Tell them to come and start paying me huge amount of money and do a lot of evil for me to be able to acquire money to buy a unit of that estate.
Wow.
I can tell you that majority of people that will even stay in that estate are not going to be Christians, but it's going to take money from them. Then he will stand up and tell me, or David Oyedepo, or what do you call Redeemed Christian Church, will tell me that the money they use in building churches and universities is God that bless them. It's obvious that you are running an institution that the government does not tax, so you get your money 100%. They don't tax churches.
So you don't call that a blessing?
It's not a blessing. That's business now.
Wow.
Yes. Me, I tell people to pay me money for me to do consultation for them. Pay me money to speak to my time. You want me to do ritual for you? Pay me money.
Okay.
I am coming out to say, you pay me money, I do it for you. But they will tell you, no, you don't need to pay us any money. But they indirectly tell you that if you don't pay your tithe, God will not open the windows of heaven. And I'm still asking. I say one day when I meet Elon Musk, I will say, have you ever come across the door in heaven, talking of the window of heaven that will bring forth blessings?
It's funny.
And this is what I tell all my watered members. There are some certain things you do. You don't even need to be a watered member. Money will rain into your hands. You don't need to pay tithe or do anything. You don't need to.
But what about now?
So go and read the history of David Oyedepo. People say he has suffered. Yes. Just tell us that you suffered, you are getting your payment. Finish. Don't say it's God's blessing. Because the man started from one church. So
what do we call God's blessing? What do you call God's blessing?
God's blessing does not come free of charge. God does not bless people for free.
So what is God's blessing?
There is only one way that you can get God's blessing for free.
Which
is when God wants to use you for something ahead. And that is why God will not tell you what he wants to use you for. And what is that thing that God wants to use you for? God wants to use you as a blessing in the lives of others. That's where we're saying akalaka destiny. You can be anything as long as the purpose is to be a blessing to humanity. And then God can preserve you. God can decide to bless you. But in that way, you must work for it. The Bible said, have you not seen the ants, how they gathered in dry season? And then you do that. You find out at the end of the day, if you don't plant, do you reap?
No.
People, they don't want to plant. They want to stand by and be waiting for that thing to come down.
Okay. You just said something about David Oyedepo, and you said in his days of little beginning, he had a church. And you just also said something about planting and sowing. Don't you think in that time of little beginning was this time of planting? And this is a time of sowing everything he has planted.
David Oyedepo owns a university.
Okay.
How many?
2.
Good. Do I own a university?
No, you don't.
I do own a university.
Yes. You own a university, Lanfort University, and
Though is an online college.
It's an online college, yeah.
And I made it compulsory that every watered member must undergo a course.
Yeah.
The idea is for them to do what? To have a knowledge. Now, And I told them to pay a token. Because I realized that people will only value what they actually pay for. But either way, whatever thing they are going to pay cannot be up to 50% of what they will pay if they go to another online university. And so you are saying them they are paying just $10 or $20 for a course. Go online, you will see courses of $1,500. Now somebody will say in a business, say, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Good. Somebody paid me 250,000 naira to do a ritual. Am I going to keep the money for myself? I was given the talent, the spiritual gift for free. What do I need in this life? Is a roof over my head, or man, a nice car to drive, food to feed you, my children, and those walking around me. I do not need a mansion that we have 100 rooms and I'm only sleeping in one and my wife, you, and the other one is empty for friends to come and visit and stay. And so the remaining money that will come is enough for me to start building shelter for the homeless. And when I start building shelter for the homeless, you will be so heartless that you will not leave my shelter and you want to go to the church. When I know that as you are entering the shelter, you will see a cowrie in front and seashell. You say, you live inside the watered shelter. I say yes, and you are going to church. They'll say now they do hypocrisy. You know what shop you want use teeth to share. You get it? Mm-hmm. You know what shop, but you want use teeth to share. Let me tell you, Christians can begin to convert every Muslim to Christianity when they start building shelter. Majority of Christians that even left Christianity for Islam is because one Alhaji promised to give them money. And when you see a Christian going to Islam, say, one Alhaji don't promise you money. Why don't you promise them money for them to come to Christianity? Why don't you? You get it? Okay. So that's my take.
We've talked about Muslims and we've talked about Christianity. Mm-hmm. And
can I be comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, better.
Free.
Better like this.
We've seen we're coming to the place of your religion, your newfound religion. We're coming to that place. We're not in a rush because there are so many misconceptions. So many people don't understand why the watered. So many persons have, like I was trying to say, so many misconceptions about the use of cowries, the use of beads, red corals, the use of seashell, the use of going to the beach to pray. Is looking demonic. It's looking like it's looking satanic. Like my side will say, like the Igbos will say, it's an obanje. It's looking
even your own people.
Yes, even my own people.
My in-laws.
Even my in-laws, even your own people don't understand.
And they say it's satanic.
It's satanic.
And it's demonic.
It's demonic. It's fetish.
Okay, good.
So now, can you... We're going to that. We've not come to that. We're going to that. Just put it at the back of your mind.
Okay.
We're coming to that. Like I said before, we've talked about being a Muslim. We've talked about the Christian religion. We've talked about the Muslim religion. And you've tried to explain to us so the similarity between the both of them, similarity between Judaism and other religion. And thank you very much for all of that you've done for us. Now, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Who was the first person that created the memory of God in you?
Okay. The first person that created the memory of God in me was my mother, if I have to use that.
Okay.
But over the years, I've done a lot of research and I realized that even if my mother hadn't created the memory of God in me, I would still have known there is God.
Okay. Now, the reason I asked you this question, the first person that created the memory of God in you, because there was a situation, not in Nigeria, there was a situation, I think it should be in Europe, where a child was asked this same question: who is God? And the child only knows Ronaldinho as God. That's the reason I'm asking you. That's what is bringing me to asking you this.
Okay.
The first person that created the memory of God. Now, if you look at Africa, every child is be given the memory of there is a God. But when you come to the Western world,
some are atheists.
Yes.
Now, you see the case of that child that said Ronaldo is God. I use one word. If my mother hadn't taught me, I would still have known there is God. I would still have known there is a force that is above me. Now, what happened to that child was a distorted memory of God. So his memory of God was distorted and changed by the mother.
Whoa.
And that is why I used to tell you, my children, I'm only going to teach them the true and pure definition of God. I'm not going to say God is in heaven. I can't limit God to be heaven. Neither am I going to limit God to be in the waters. But you know the idea? What cannot be created or destroyed?
God.
Okay, let's go online and check it out.
Okay.
Let's just ask the internet, what cannot be created or destroyed? Are you on my screen? You'll be surprised. What cannot be created? Good. You even give me a suggestion. Or destroyed. Matter makes up an invisible object in the universe and can be what? Neither created nor what? Destroyed. Now, something that cannot be created or destroyed is called what? Energy.
If these are
good. Now, matter according to physics. Matter according to physics is any substance that has mass and takes up space by having volume. Some people look at God as a matter. But a matter requires energy to exist. So energy is anything that cannot be what? Created nor destroyed. What else has the same characteristics that cannot be created nor destroyed? God. And so the only thing I want to teach my children is that there is something that is in charge of your breath that made the earth possible, that made the water possible. You can't create it. It cannot be destroyed. It has no beginning, nor does it have an end. It's energy.
So now, if I don't understand, I'm trying to get a clarity on this, on what you just said now. This is man ideology. Physics is man ideology to life.
Then
I don't know if you understand.
Then God is man's ideology to what?
Because you're giving us from an angle of physics, matter, and energy.
Let me ask a question. Okay. Religion, science, spirituality, which is it powerful?
Spirituality is powerful.
Good. Religion teach you that God is in heaven.
Yeah.
Science teach you that God is everywhere.
Yeah.
Energy, it cannot be created, not be destroyed. It's responsible for everything that vibrates around us. Spirituality teach you that God cannot be seen. It's the force that we call on to, and it makes things happen to us. Science also makes us understand that when you put up our wish there, the moment our mind keep thinking about something, I want this, that thing comes to materialization. But you know what religion does? Religion limits you from the power of your mind to the power of your action. And so they kill your mind and ask you to act a certain way, which your mind should be the one that push you to act. And so your mind is no longer your mind. Your mind is now being controlled, and you start acting a certain way without getting the desired result. Spirituality tells you that you are in control of your mind and your true essence. And because you are in control of your mind, that when somebody wants to get you angry, you are relaxed. You breathe in. The outcome of that is peace. But religion tells you, no, don't do this. You cannot be insulted. You cannot insult Muhammad. You cannot insult Jesus Christ. You cannot insult this. And you want to defend what goes in, it leads to argument, from argument to fight. If it does not lead to fight, malice. So religion is constantly controlling us. Spirituality is giving us the power to control. Science is giving us the power to control and make. Because I want to understand, what thing has religion actually created? Nothing. Yet the religious leader, they need the laptop to do their brainstorming, to save all the information they think they want. They need lights, they need camera. Science made that possible. Religion have never given us anything. And that is why in the water, despite the fact that I'm a founder of religion, in my religion we teach what is called common spiritual common sense. Don't expect that the Spirit is going to bless you with wealth. I tell my members, everybody is not permitted to be rich. Religion will tell you that, Naomi, God has destined you to be in Lagos, to live in this beautiful apartment, this nice life. Who told you? It was not God, though. You think it was God that said both of us should marry? No. If when we were dating, I abused you, would you have married me?
No.
So your decision to make me your husband is why you are in this place. And you are in this place because the man you decided to marry is a man that have prospect for a life like this. And because you yourself, you have a prospect to live this kind of beautiful life also, there is a hidden vibration of energy that when both of us met, you had some appalling characters. I had some appalling character, but there was a spark of energy that attracted itself. For the prize ahead, he laid his life down. For what we are not in control of. For one day we never knew I was going to be in this apartment, but there is an energy that is aware of it. We did what? We connected and we are here. And that's why I tell you, and I tell you to teach my children. And what do you say? Thank you. And what is the prayer? For whatever thing responsible for where I am today. That I am not under the bridge. Whoever you are, let me just call you the ancient spirit. Ancient signifies old. Thank you. And that's why when you watch the secret, he said, gratitude is a form of worship. Gratitude is not telling your member to come and give you money. No. Gratitude is that when I met Uzihben, my life changed. Sir, God bless you. Take this. Even Jesus Christ said, where are the remaining 9? Can I ask me another question?
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself.
That was why you married me.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm trying to learn a lot from what I used to know. Like I said before, you have to be open-minded for you to learn. If you're not open-minded, I swear to God,
you will not learn.
You will not. If you just have to be this kind of rigid person that says, no, it must be this way, you will not learn. And I will comfortably say that does not mean you're trying to be persuaded from what you know. Just be open-minded and learn from all of this. Thank you very much. And thank you, my people. Thank you, my director.
Is that the all? Is that all?
No. That's not all.
Don't thank now. Continue now.
No, I'll be thanking them.
Don't thank them.
Okay.
They're under AC. They're enjoying themselves.
Oh, thank you, my director. Thank you very much, Mr. Uzihben. The reminder, thank you for your time. Now, I said we're coming to the place of asking you a question about the water religion. The water religion started sometime last year, I think around June, July, if I'm being corrected.
Yes.
That was when the water religion started. It started like a joke. It started. I never knew it would get to this. I never knew it would get to where it is today. I thought it's something that will fade away, but I'm seeing it like it's something that is growing stronger and stronger. Now, can you please enlighten my viewers on why the water religion?
Okay, why the watered religion? Do you know one of the things about energy I talked about? I didn't actually know you're going to ask that question. But look at what I was doing. Matter, the state of matter.
Solid, liquid, and gaseous state. Yeah.
Good. And what can exist in solid, liquid, and gaseous? Water. When it's frozen, it's solid. When there is heat.
Let's come again. I was just looking at you.
Okay, good. What exists? He was blushing. I'm a spiritual leader. You don't do that.
Okay. Director. Okay. All right. Let's try.
Okay, now your question is why watered religion?
Why?
Now, if you remember when we were having this conversation, I said, I've been a Satanist. When I use the word I've been a Satanist, I'm talking about I studied about Satanism. I practiced it. Yes, while in school, I practiced it. I was reading the books. I was going through everything. And I was a Christian before I went to the school. I became a Muslim. Every of this, there was only one thing I was programmed to be: a Christian. Curiosity was what led me into Satanism, Buddhism, Islam, and Zoroastrianism. But in each of all of this, I realized that every one of it had a human influence on it, and not pure, deep spiritual wisdom. Christianity is obvious, human influence. Islam is obvious, human influence. Satanism, human trying to think that the dark forces also should be respected or regarded. Zoroastrianism, human influence. Despite the fact that their separate prophets and spiritual leaders have what you call a deep sense and wisdom of the spirit, but over the age, things have changed. And I can tell you, 1,000 years from now, what I am teaching today, most people are not going to follow it again. Most water members are not going to follow. They're going to bring their own interpolation. And then when that happens, God is still going to raise another prophet to remind them of what I have taught. And that's why I'm called the reminder. Now, the water religion came after I have explored so many possibilities. And I realized that my life was stagnant. And then I woke up one morning and I went to the beach. And while at the beach, I look at the beauty of the waters. And I heard inside of me, prior this time, I'd have different revelations from Babalawo, from Chris people, from prophets, and said, you have a calling. And those that know that their insight is not wide enough, they will say, God said you are going to be a pastor. And I will say, I know I'm a spiritual person. I know I'm going to be a great man in the affairs of the spirit, but not as a pastor. But whatever it is, I don't know yet. Now it's becoming clearer. And so when I was by the sea, I looked at the beauty of the sea. And the next thing that dropped into my heart was, this is the manifestation of the essence of God. And every day that passes by, even today as I'm talking to you, another revelation came while looking at this computer. a solid evidence why we say God is water. If science says that matter is something that cannot be destroyed nor created, and energy is something that cannot be destroyed or created, what do you think? In the water, we say the water is God. Not God we worship, but the essence through which God is being manifested. So the water is what? A matter. The water need an energy to exist, to flow. That energy is what moved the wind to blow it, and there is a ripple. That energy is what made the water possible. Now, another energy is needed to add cold to it. It becomes solid. Another energy of heat comes, apply to it. It becomes what? Liquid. And then, you know what is this?
Yeah.
A diffuser.
Yeah.
A little science created it in a way that when it's being dispensed, it comes like air, but it's liquid. But also, do you also know that the air we breathe here, have molecules of water?
Of course.
So you find out that water is existing in 3 what?
Stages.
Liquid, solid,
and gaseous.
and gas. What is matter? Define matter. What is
matter?
Matter. Matter, according to physics, classical physics, and general chemistry, matter is any substance that has mass and takes up space by having what? Volume. And we have 4 categories of it. 4 categories of what? Matter. We have the solid, the liquid, the gas, and what? The plasma. You get it? But we have what? 3 stages of what? Of it also. And so you can find out that when the water religion came, while standing by the sea, the insight came to me not because I did physics, and I realized that water has so much power. And so, are you with me? You can find out that at the end of the day, almost every religion does not exist without water. You cannot become a Muslim without the ablution. You need the water. You can't become a Muslim, you can't become a Christian without what? Baptism. You can't become a Zoroastrian without baptism. Do you know that if you don't undergo the water reincarnation, you cannot become a Satanist? Yes. So you can see the presence of water in almost every human religious or spiritual ideology. And do you know that water now, scientific discovery have discovered that, have carried some scientific experiment, they found out that water have the tendency to save. Meaning, as we are talking here, every body of water here is saving it. The air that has water, it's saving it.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that on the internet.
Good. And so now, water have now the tendency to save information. And so an experiment was carried out whereby 2 water were placed in a place, in a jar.
So I saw
and
that.
One was constantly being insulted. You are a fool.
Yes.
And they put rice inside and put rice here. And one was constantly said, you are good. And at the period of a month, they brought it out. The one that was constantly insulted became darker.
Yeah.
And why the one that was not just change color and the rest stuff. And the fact that water that you constantly insult, the crystal representation is different from the one that was constantly being blessed. And so when all science have proven it, religion have proven it, don't you think that the only best religion on earth today is the watered religion? And that's why I can boldly say the only religion you should actually belong to right now is the watered religion. It is the only religion that encompasses every other religion together. It is the only religion that tells you don't go and do sacrifice in the water. You are contaminating it. It is the only religion that, this week now, I got a revelation that the month of April, which is the 4th month of the water year, will be a month of what? Of fasting. And you need to see the revelation of how the fasting should be taken. If you must ever eat all throughout the fasting period, you're only allowed to eat what? The unleavened bread that does not contain sugar or salt. And science have it that when you fast, your body is recreated. People that fast, they actually live longer. So that was what inspired the watered religion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. It's talked about the religion, the watered religion.
Okay.
Now, before the watered religion started, or let's say the beginning of the watered religion, you said something about paying a spiritual, paying for consultation, paying
For spiritual work.
for spiritual work. Yes.
Okay.
Paying for spiritual work, but right now,
What you mean is that when I started, I was preaching against people who ask money to do spiritual work. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But right now, what I'm seeing and what my viewers are seeing on the internet is where you pay on 100,000 for the beads. You pay for consultation. So I want to understand something. Are you trying to contradict what you said before, or you're trying to validate it? I don't get.
Okay, there was a case of a lady who was in abject poverty, was suffering, and I decided to make the bid. I know what I'm wearing, I know what is here, and I gave her the bead. And when I gave her the bead, she was expecting the bead to do magic, and after 7 days, he said, the bead not the work. The bead, just say this bead not the work. And if I see they're hungry, and I ended the call on her.
Oh.
And then after that day, I put a price 10,000, and somebody went to borrow money to buy the bead, and in 3 days gave me a testimony. And other people that had the money that were able to buy it, they had no value for it. I increased it to 20,000. People still got their miracles. Other bought and did not get it. Right now, the bid is between 50,000 and 100,000. Now, I would say you don't need money to do spiritual work. People will go to my church and say, God gave you the spiritual work for free. Then I told a lady on my TikTok messenger, God gave you your life for free, as he gave all of us talent for free. Would you want to die, run into the road to rescue somebody so that the trailer can kill you? He said no. He said good.
Funny question.
You want me to use the gifts that God has given me, that the same? It's most Christians, so they are the ones saying that. I said good. Your Bible tell you that your gifts and talent will make what? Make way for me. How will the talent make way for me when I cannot pay my rent in Aja? I'm in the Beju Lekki. If you live in mainland and I'm living in Lekki phase 1, coming to see me, is it not closer? If I tell you I'm living in Ekpe, you want to come from mainland to Ekpe. So me living a big life, moving down to the island to Lekki phase 1 is also helping you. Would you believe me if I tell you, buy this bead and your doors will be open? And I'm trekking. And so they found out that they prefer to go and meet a babalawo that is in the village, hungry, to do money for them. And you that have the calling and you have the tendency to make them have the same money, they say, na money they look for. Because the babalawo in the village, this also they look for money.
Okay.
But the aspect of spirituality is not something I want to talk about today. I want to, maybe one of the other podcasts we're going to have, we'll talk about that. But one of the reasons why I tell people to start paying now is because, number one, you are my wife. Do I sleep in the night?
No, you don't.
Have I ever woken up in the night and I start praying for somebody that is not even aware of?
Yes.
Several times. Have you ever been attacked spiritually?
Many times.
Has my son ever been attacked spiritually?
Many times.
We receive attack every day. There was a case of a woman I took to the water to go and pray for, and the spirits that appeared to me in the water to pray for the woman came visiting my wife. And my wife called and I said, oh man, I saw a yellow tall woman coming to beat me. Exactly the same woman I saw in the beach while I took this woman to go and pray for. And I came and I said, you not get respect. Now my wife you go meet. You are a fool. You don't have sense. You know, they say even my wife said, now another Ogbeju spiritual person. And I warned her. And this is the first time my wife is it not the first time you are even seeing me and you sit down and we are talking, we are in a place away from home?
Yeah.
Sometimes I will leave the house, I will not sleep in the house. Sometimes I will be at the beach. Sometimes I will leave the house in the morning, I'm coming back 10, 11. Do you know what it means that you carry your wife and your child and members of your household and you are driving and you are sleeping on the steering? And you are sleeping on steering. And somebody will say, you are wicked for asking people to pay. You are not paying for the spiritual work. I still say, spiritual work is free. But I don't want to die on time. Bring that thing from me. Bring that thing for me. Bring that other thing from me. Yes.
The vitamin C.
Yes. Yes, bring it. Bring that jar. Don't worry, you can call me. You can call me. Good. Good. Medically, it's not advisable. But because I want to artificially boost, I started drinking this. Until last night, God gave me the vision of, what do you call it? The fasting. He said it's not what you drink. He said, but when you even stop eating, it can renew yourself. And I went to the internet and said, hey, it's true. It's true. You can see, I have more than 2 in the house. I used to drink an energy bottle for 5,000 naira every 3 days. I started the water. We had over 1 million naira in our account. Right?
Yeah.
Piggyverse, Osusu, different bank. My wife was not saying, thank God my wife know that I know they spend money for girl. Say I get girlfriend outside. My wife would not be telling me, what did you spend this money for? How do I explain to her that somebody called me all the way from Ondo State? Sir, I would have loved to see you, but I don't have money to come. And I transferred 15,000 to the person to come and see me. And I took the person to the beach. And I paid for the person for prayers. And I paid for the person to stay in the hotel. Mm-hmm. And I'm back to the house. You remember the case of the lady that even my phone spoiled?
Yeah.
And we have to even buy food for her to eat. And we gave her transport to come and see me and transport to go back. I was now becoming poor in the name of helping people. I said, no, it cannot happen. I was making money in dollars because my mind was not okay. If
things happened,
I was doing spiritual work, all my business was shutting down. I was owing staff in the in QTV Africa. Learnforth was abandoned. Pro Learn It was abandoned. Fast work was shut down in the name of going to the beach, and I was going down. Until I said, no way, no. If I want to do this spiritual work, I'm talking about if I decide to shut the water that I don't want to do God work again, I will be rich.
Of course. I
will be rich in less than 3 months. You guys know that I was doing comedy video before? How much were we paying? $1,000, $700, $1,500. Yes. Some months we take $2,000+. We are collecting almost 1.8 million naira on every month. People were paying me 500,000 naira for what? Website building.
Website building, yeah.
And you think it's a watered money I want to do? We were already living in a jar before I started the watered religion.
Of course.
I was living in a house of more than 1 million naira, more than 1.5 million naira. We are here in our vacation. This is our vacation home. You definitely once in a while you'll be seeing us here. This is where we do our getaway. Do you know how much we spend here? Yesterday I spent almost our expense money. Only for me, I took those Seychelles. That's what I don't want to talk about. The reason why I've not come out to tell you how to actually call forth money from whatever thing you do in this life is because some of you will abuse it. Yes, they will abuse it. We went there with 170,000. The moment we are done buying all the gbogbo here and entering, we went to Landmark, 80-something thousand. We left there with almost 190,000.
Yeah.
And this morning I woke up with 200-something thousand. And I have 140-something. And I know before I will sleep, my phone is off now. I can tell you the moment this mobile phone go live, money don't increase again. These are the secrets I want to tell a lot of people, but they don't understand. This is the beat. This is the beat that is doing it. God, the power of God in this particular beat. That's why I don't give it out. This will have his own work. Those of you in Yoruba, you know this type of beat. And the one you are going with cowries. When we came to this house, is that not seashell there? I know what it does, cowries and seashell. But some of you don't know how to do it. So when I start asking people to pay me money because I know what I carry.
Okay. Thank you. Now you talked about we've talked about, I asked you some questions and you've enlightened.
Okay. Continue.
I've asked you some questions and you just enlightened me on that. And I have been a part of it from the beginning, so yes. I understand from the angle of which you were talking from.
You remember when I sprinkle water on you and 500,000 land your account?
And I understand the path from which you're coming from. Now, I want to say something, and I want you to throw more light on what I'm about to say. The truth is, there was a time somebody called you and I was saying, I don't have money. I think a young man, and you asked a question, what do you do? Now, let me tell you guys something. It's not about having the bid. It's about having what you do.
That's how the God works.
Many of us, we don't have what we do and want to get the bid. You can go as far as borrowing money to get the bid. And you don't have anything doing.
The spirit will be...
You're just a layout.
The spirit will just be watching you. What should I touch for money to come? They are waiting for you to show them something to touch.
Because the same Bible you read as a Christian said, I will bless the work of your hand. The bid is just a means for you to get
a catalyst easy. To fasten the reaction. For those of you who do science.
So now, because we're coming to a conclusion, I'm trying to conclude it from my end before the reminder will say something about it. If you get this bid and you don't do anything, you're not doing anything, the bid cannot find something in your hand. God cannot find something in your hand. God cannot work for you. It's no magic. Right. Even if you buy all the beads and you just put it in your house and you expect money to come to you, my dear, I'm sorry, it will not come.
Odi.
And that is why you say it's not working. It's no magic. It cannot work if you don't have something doing.
And there's a testimony of a lady in the US, in the UK. You know the lady I'm talking of. I don't want to call her name.
Sorry, I'm coming.
Okay.
Like I said, you have to conclude every of this. It cannot work for you, my dear. You are a 19-year-old boy, a 20-year-old boy, 21-year-old boy that's still supposed to be in school, maybe about graduating. You're still dependent. Your parents still pay your school fees. They still feed you, house you, clothe you. And out of the money they gave to you, you're buying this and expecting one spirit to come drop $1 million in your house.
Oh, gee.
My dear, you're a thief. It cannot happen. You have to diligently go through school, learn, sit up, ask for wisdom to understand anything you're being taught in class, to come out better, So sit up, have a good grade, come out better, and when come after going through school, your NYSC whatsoever, you pray to God to give you a good job, and in that job, God makes it easy for you. If you're with this bid and with God, it made it easy for you, very easy for you. When I mean easy for you,
it clears the path.
Yes, it clears the path. Where people try to struggle for promotion, it comes easy. Your MD just sees your work and you get it.
Let me say something.
And
these bees have spirits, and so as a human being, there are always going to be an anti-progressive spirit around you. It is what these bees remove. So when you are moving, the world become easier for you.
I know many of you will be saying why the emphasis on the bead, but there are so many people that progress without the bead. Yes, they are. There are so many people that progress without the bead. But those so many people that progress without the bead, like you come to Christianity, they'll tell you pay your tithe. You can't be paying tithe and you're not doing anything, and you expect God to bless you. It's the same thing with this. You pay tithe and you're not asking God, rain the showers of blessing upon me. It can't work, my dear. You will be paying that tithe for years and nothing will happen to you.
And let me say something. This is very funny. Evil people, when they do prostitution, people who even do as a professional work, and it's not a crime here in Nigeria if you are doing it in a excluded this thing. I say, why do you want to say I want more men? I say, anyway, whatever thing you want it to do for you, it will do for you. Whatever thing you want to do for you, do for you. And actually, she bought it. And not only did she get it, she actually got, according to her, she's not in the country actually, and the doors actually open for her. You say, sir, the place I used to go, and they just give me like £5, £10. The man gave me £100, £300. He said, he wants to set up a business for me. He said, this your bid is working. I said, now, you know what the bid is trying to do? The bid have carried you to somebody who can give you money to set up yourself. Can you set yourself up, focus on your life, and quit that job for now? You say, I won't think about it. You not think about it. So can I say something?
Okay, now, yes, you can say something.
All right. Thank you very much for this beautiful. My conclusion is this. Love your neighbor. Love yourself. But above all, love yourself. Because the way you love yourself is how the environment reacts to you. And because you love yourself, if the environment reacts negatively towards you, you are able to what? Withdraw yourself back. And the more you withdraw yourself back, the environment will realize that this person does not want this. So they will start rearranging themselves in a positive way to create impact for you. And for those of you who believe in what I teach, I can assure you that the goal is to live a life that our children's children will look up to, and they will say, truly, our father, our mother lived a life that we can emulate. Yeah. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the reminder. Thank you for your time. Thank you, my director. Thank you, my director Maro. Thank you very much. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.